just want to fix my friends.
You can't fix this.
You should use these powers to help people.
So, well, Grandma, what did you think of the Fantastic Four?
I thought the Fantastic Four was pretty fantastic. I really appreciated them taking us through step by step, you know, from the beginning when the four were very young and we're just, you know, beginning to understand how very, very bright they all were. And when they put their talents together, of course, what that would mean later on. But the people who created the film were very careful to take us along step by step, you know, as they came up and explaining what they were doing. You know, this other dimension. Okay, you know, what is going to be in this other dimension? You know, they were very careful about introducing the audience to that idea, what might happen when you actually could get there. Transportation of biological. It was interesting too, you know, I know when they did the first biological test that it was a chimpanzee. Okay, of course. They get to go into space before we do and all of that, you know.
What did you think of the characters?
The Fantastic Four.
Yeah, what did you know much about the Fantastic Four?
Well, I
before
knew.
this? Had you seen the other movies?
I knew the name, and I knew Johnny Storm, the fiery guy.
The Human Torch.
The Human Torch. And I knew about the Invisible Girl, but I didn't know she had the force field kind of power that she had. And of course, Mr. Fantastic, he can stretch around everywhere. You know, I remember the comics about him, and I don't remember whether in the Marvel comics they were all together or did they have individual stories?
No, they were all together.
They were all together.
Right from the beginning.
And the Thing, of course, the big rock guy, he changed the most, so physically.
Right.
He was the one that was most altered, so that he didn't look like he did before.
Right.
But I thought that I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was a really good story, well told, and when they did do special effects, they did them well. What did you think?
Well, I too thought it was quite good through most of it. I mean, being more familiar with the comics than you are, I know, of course, that this whole story is completely different than what the comic origin of the Fantastic Four is. Oh yeah, it's completely different.
Oh, I thought they were just telling us the comic book creation story.
No, I mean in the original one they went into outer space and were affected by cosmic rays, which changed their bodily structure and such. So again, all of this, you know,
another dimension, planet kind of thing.
Well, none of that. Again, none of the. Well, very, very little of the of all of this was in the comics. None of that backstory about them being of their childhood was in the comics.
Building this thing in the garage, you know, nobody understood it.
Yeah, again, and then the father with the adopted daughter. I mean, none of that was in the original story. So again. If you take all of that away, though, I mean, you treat it just as the movie that you're faced with. Again, they told that story quite well.
Well, maybe that's why I appreciate it. 'Cause I didn't know the comic book
Yeah, I mean,
origin story.
I mean, I thought that the story that they told it quite well. I mean, the whole origin of them, their you know, how they became the Fantastic Four, and then the struggles that the initial struggles that they had with you know, their new powers and everything like that. All of that, I thought they did quite well. I mean, the main problem that they had. Well, there were two main problems. One was they had a hard time ending it. And then the other part was that the majority of the film was really the origin part. And there was very little of them as the Fantastic Four until really the end.
When they worked together to...
Well, I mean, even individually. I mean, they didn't reveal their powers until very late in the movie. And then again, when they used their powers, were just a very small number of times, and they weren't, I don't think, really used to their greatest possibilities, you might say.
Well, I can recommend to our watching public that they should go and see the Fantastic Four, because I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that it was
very entertaining.
Quite interesting. I mean, the whole story part of their origin and everything was quite involving. The actors did a good job. You know, it was all very well done. Except that, again, I would say it's sort of a missed opportunity. Megan, are you back there?
Yeah.
What did you think, Megan?
It was good.
What?
Miles Teller, the guy who played Mr. Fantastic, was a good actor.
He is very good. He was in that Whiplash. You remember Whiplash, about the drummer?
I do.
He's also in the Divergent movie.
That's true. He's the sort of the comic relief in that. And actually, that's another missed opportunity in this movie. Is that, again,
not as much of that.
There was no humor until the very, very end, and they attempted some very poor humor at the end. The thing about the Fantastic Four always is that they have a lot of humor. They're always joking around and you know, wisecracking and stuff like that.
Their teamwork during their working together as a team.
Yes, they're always making jokes, but again, not so much even making jokes, but they come into situations which are humorous at times. Again,
well, I would look forward to seeing a sequel where those things are explored.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that they tried to at the end show a little bit about the characters and the way they would be in the future, but in a way, it's almost too late.
Hello,
well, you missed a good movie, but I know you were doing your own thing.
Wait, let's finish up here just real quickly before we get to talking to Amy.
So good.
Wait, just a second. Amy thought the movie was good. Okay, so just a second. So, Grandma, how would you wind it up? What was your final analysis here of the Fantastic?
Well, I went to see the Fantastic Four, not really expecting anything, and I was very positively impressed. The actors were good. The development of the story, showing how they got their powers and ended up as a team, the Fantastic Four, I thought all that was really good. Yes, thumbs up.
Megan?
It was good.
Okay.
Better than I expected, because you said that it was going to be terrible.
I did not say it was going to be terrible.